no good, and they realize that Donald Trump has some kind of invulnerability because he's neck and neck with Kamala Harris. They go on to say that their spells do not work against politicians because they have a lot of energy surrounding them, but they also go on to say that their spells may not be working against Donald Trump because people are praying for him, and those prayers are negating their spells. One of them on Reddit actually said that Donald Trump may be wearing some kind of pendant protecting him from any harm. But it's just so eerie when you line up with what we're told, how there were 3 attempts made on Trump's life, and he survived all 3 attempts. And then, we have this card here called the Talisman of Arimanes, which protects a person from 3 attempts. So it's rather interesting, but we're going to go ahead and take a look at a couple other cards that I also find interesting as well. And we do know that there are cards that pretty much show us what took place on 9/11, but there's another interesting card. This card right here, Seize the Time. You can see the dagger is on the 9, not all the way, but it's still on the 9, and you can see the finger pointing to the 11, which looks like a sacrificial sundial. Yes, some sundials were used for sacrifices, and it becomes even more telling when you pair it up with the dagger. Now, the time they're showing us on this card is rather interesting as well, because it's only 4 minutes off from when the first hit occurred. The first hit occurred at 8:46 in the morning, and the card is showing us 8:50. I really don't hear many people talk about this card, but it really stands out when you compare it to other cards that show the imagery of what took place that day. Talking about that day, I actually found another card that stood out to me. This card is called Air Magic. Now, if you look at the artwork of the card, it does look like
she thinks it's going to take for food and everything.
And this is really interesting. And reading the description of the card, it says, play this card to help protect a place against any disaster except earthquake or volcano. The power of the place is tripled for this one defense.